Welcome back to the channel Coins, the home of rare discoveries, hidden treasures, and unbelievable coin facts that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about and often misunderstood coins in American history, the 1961 Lincoln penny. This small copper coin might look ordinary, but some rare varieties have shocked collectors around the world by selling for massive prices reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, a coin once worth just 1 cent can now be worth up to $787,976. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history that could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. Let's travel back to the year 1961, a fascinating time in American history. John F. Kennedy was president, the Cold War was heating up, and the United States Mint in Denver was hard at work producing millions of Lincoln pennies. The 1961 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But even though millions were made, not all 1961 pennies are created equal. Some of these coins were struck with tiny errors, special die varieties, and rare minting mistakes that transformed them into priceless collector's items decades later. The 1961 Mint mark stands for Denver, the famous mint facility known for producing billions of coins every year. But during this period, something unusual happened. Some of the dies used to stamp the pennies developed doubling, misalignment, and small imperfections that only careful collectors would notice. These imperfections created rare double die obverse, repunched mint marks, and even off-center strikes. To the untrained eye, these look like regular coins, but under magnification, the details reveal the truth. The doubling on the word liberty or the date 1961 can turn an ordinary penny into a fortune. Now, you might be wondering, how could a simple 1961 penny be worth so much money? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. Coin collectors all over the world are always searching for coins in mint state condition. That means a coin that looks like it was just struck yesterday, without scratches, dirt, or wear. If you happen to find a 1961 Lincoln penny that has sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of damage, you could be looking at a valuable piece. The highest graded 1961 pennies have sold at major auctions for unbelievable prices, sometimes surpassing $10,000, $50,000, or even more. But the rarest of the rare, those with unique minting errors, special color tones, or perfect grading, have reached staggering prices near $787,976 in the collector's market. The Lincoln penny series is one of the most loved and collected in the entire world. It has been in continuous production since 1909 and has witnessed over a century of American history. The 1961 issue sits at a fascinating crossroads between the early copper coins and the later zinc issues that began in 1982. Each of these small coins carries a story, a piece of American culture and craftsmanship that has survived decades in pockets, jars, and drawers. Every scratch tells a story, and every mint mark hides a clue about its journey. When examining your 1961 penny, there are a few details you need to look for carefully. Start with the date and mint mark. If you notice any doubling or extra impressions around the numbers 1 and 9, you could be holding a double die variety. Next, check the mint mark D under the date. If it looks like there's another D slightly above, below, or to the side, that could mean it's a repunched mint mark, another valuable error type that collectors chase after. Also, look at Lincoln's eyes, nose, and the letters in Liberty. Any doubling there could increase the coin's worth significantly. Don't forget to check the reverse side, where the words 1 cent and United States of America are located. Sometimes, the doubling appears on the reverse instead of the front, but condition matters most. Grading is the professional system used to determine how perfect a coin is. The top grade, mint state 67 or 68 red, represents a nearly flawless coin with strong red copper color and brilliant shine. A coin like this is a dream for collectors. Coins graded in such top conditions by companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. The redder and shinier the penny, the higher the value. Coins that have turned brown or have scratches are still collectible, but their prices are much lower. That's why it's always worth checking old collections, coin jars, and inherited boxes. You never know when a hidden treasure might be waiting. Beyond the money, what makes the 1961 penny so fascinating is the history behind it. This coin marks an era when American coinage was transitioning from the post-war boom into the modern age. Copper was still used in full strength, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving the coin that rich reddish color that collectors adore. The Denver Mint struck more than 1.7 billion pennies that year, but only a handful have survived in pristine, untouched condition. That's what makes them so special. A rare error or a high-grade example is like finding a needle in a haystack. Today, collectors, numismatists, and even beginners are hunting for the rare 1961 penny across flea markets, estate sales, and online auctions. Some of these coins pop up on eBay or heritage auctions, where bidding wars can drive prices sky-high. A few lucky people have even found these coins by accident, tucked away in old jars or passed down from family members. Imagine discovering that an old penny sitting in your drawer for decades is worth thousands or more. That's the magic of coin collecting. The story of the Lincoln penny doesn't end there. It's more than just metal and numbers, it's a connection to history. Every penny minted tells us something about the time it was made, the technology used, and the people who handled it. The 1961 penny connects us to the early 60s, a time of change, innovation, and hope. Owning one of these coins is like owning a time capsule from that golden age of American minting. So, the next time you pick up a penny, don't ignore it. Check the date, check the mint mark, and take a closer look. Because that small copper coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And who knows, you might be holding a piece of history valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 1961 Lincoln penny, make sure to subscribe to Coins and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another amazing story about hidden treasures, rare finds, and valuable coins that could change your life. Share this video with your friends, drop a comment below telling us which rare coins you found, and keep checking your change. The next millionaire penny could be in your pocket right now. Thank you for watching Coins, where every cent has a story and every story shines like gold. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and never stop believing that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins ever minted in American history, the rare 1977 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this coin looks just like any ordinary 1-cent piece. You might even have one lying around in your drawer, in an old jar, or maybe tucked away in a forgotten wallet. But what if I told you that this little copper coin could be worth thousands, and in some special cases, even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. The 1977 Lincoln penny may look simple, but it holds stories, errors, and details that can make collectors' hearts race. To understand why this coin is so special, let's go back in time. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic presidents of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. For decades, it became a symbol of honesty, hard work, and everyday American life. But as years passed, changes in design, mint marks, and even small minting errors turned some ordinary pennies into rare collectibles worth huge sums of money. By the time we reached 1977, the penny had already gone through several transformations. The year 1977 was still part of the bronze penny era. Each coin was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing around 3.11 grams. These coins were produced by 3 U.S. mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins had no mint mark, the Denver ones had a small D mark under the date, and the San Francisco ones carried the famous S mark. The average Lincoln penny from 1977 is worth just a cent in circulation, but that's not the full story. Because when you find one in uncirculated or proof condition, or with a minting error, the price can skyrocket beyond imagination. Now, let's talk about the coin that shook collectors, the rare 1977 Lincoln penny era varieties. Some coins were struck center, meaning part of the design didn't appear fully. Others had double dies, where the lettering or date appears doubled, giving the coin a unique and collectible look. One of the most sought after is the 1977 double die obverse, where the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" shows slight doubling. These varieties are highly valuable because they were minting mistakes, and mistakes in coinage often mean rarity, which means more money. In today's collector market, even a small difference can mean the world. A regular circulated 1977 penny might bring you 1 or 2 cents. But an uncirculated version, graded MS 65 or higher, can be worth anywhere between $10 and $40. Still, this is just the beginning. Some proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially those graded PR 69 or PR 70, can reach values of $100 or more. And then, we come to the ultra-rare errors, the hidden gems that turn everyday change into small fortunes. One of the most exciting discoveries was a 1977 Lincoln penny with an extremely sharp strike and deep red luster sold for a jaw-dropping $7,876. That's right, thousands of dollars for a single 1-cent coin. But even that's not the end of the story. A few rare varieties have appeared in private auctions, reported to have values estimated at nearly $787,976, depending on condition, rarity, and demand. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand and realizing it could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. That's the magic of coin collecting, and that's exactly what makes the 1977 Lincoln penny one of the most talked about coins in numismatic circles today. Collectors always look for small details, things like the clarity of Lincoln's hair, the shine of the metal, or the exact placement of letters and numbers. Even a tiny difference in strike quality can separate a normal penny from a rare masterpiece. Over the years, more collectors have begun checking their old jars and wallets, hoping to spot the next big discovery. Many people don't even realize that the change in their pocket might be worth a fortune. Some experts recommend always checking the date, mint mark, and any unusual features before spending or exchanging your old coins, but what truly makes the 1977 penny so interesting is its place in American history. It was minted during a time of economic shifts, rising copper prices, and changes in coin production. In fact, only a few years later, in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the penny's composition to 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper to save costs. That makes pre-1982 pennies, especially from the 1970s, more valuable for their copper content alone. A single 1977 penny is already worth more than 1 cent just by metal value, but with collector demand and rarity added in, it becomes a true treasure. The fascinating part of collecting these coins isn't just about the money. It's about the connection to history, the thrill of discovery, and the joy of owning a piece of the past that tells a story of craftsmanship and legacy. Every scratch, every shine, every mark on that coin carries decades of history, from factory workers at the mint to everyday Americans who carried it in their pockets through life's journey. So next time you see a 1977 Lincoln penny, don't just pass it by. Take a closer look. Check for mint marks, doubling, or off-center strikes. Look for that bright, rich red color that signals a well-preserved coin. Who knows, you might be holding a coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and treasures often hide in plain sight. Every year, new discoveries emerge, and ordinary people find rare coins that change their lives. That's why at Coins, we love sharing stories like these, to remind you that history isn't just in museums, it's right there in your hands, waiting to be rediscovered. If you love rare coins, hidden gems, and amazing stories from history, make sure to subscribe to Coins and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share this video with your friends, because who knows, maybe they too have a rare 1977 Lincoln penny sitting unnoticed in their pocket or coin jar. Thank you for watching Coins, where every cent tells a story, and every coin could be your next treasure. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe the next lucky finder of a $787,976 penny could be you. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1978 Lincoln penny. You might think a simple 1-cent coin from 1978 can't be worth much, but what if I told you that some of these rare Lincoln pennies have sold for hundreds, thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right, a tiny copper coin that could be worth more than your car, your phone, or even your dream vacation. So stay tuned till the end, because I'm going to tell you everything about the 1978 Lincoln penny, its history, minting details, secret varieties, and how you can identify the rare ones that collectors are paying big money for right now. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became one of the most iconic coins ever made. The obverse side shows the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse side, up until 1958, displayed 2 wheat ears. That's why older pennies are often called wheat pennies. But by 1959, the design changed to show the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and this design continued until 2008. The 1978 penny falls right in the middle of that Lincoln Memorial era, making it one of the last few years before the major composition change that came in 1982. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most 1978 Lincoln pennies were made from a bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Each penny weighed about 3.11 grams. That means every penny actually had more copper value than its face value in the years when copper prices spiked. But it's not the metal that makes this coin valuable, it's the rare errors and minting varieties that turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced these pennies in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, the Denver coins carry a small D mint mark below the date, and the San Francisco coins show an S. Now most of these coins were made in huge numbers, with over 8 billion struck in total, but a few special varieties slipped through with minting errors that make them incredibly valuable today. Some of these include double die errors, off-center strikes, and weak strikes, where the coin's features appear blurred or doubled. If you find one of these, you might be holding a mini fortune. One of the rarest and most sought-after varieties of the 1978 penny is the double die obverse, where you can see doubling on the date, the word liberty, or the phrase, "In God We Trust." This doubling happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, creating a unique visual effect. These are not easy to find, but if you look closely under magnification, the double details can make your penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another rare variation is the off-center strike. When the coin blank isn't properly aligned in the press, part of the design is missing, leaving a crescent-shaped blank space. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date, the more valuable it becomes. Some collectors pay hundreds just for these striking errors, but that's not all. There are also transitional errors and planchet mistakes where the wrong metal or thickness was used. Imagine a 1978 penny struck on a dime planchet, it would weigh less and appear silvery instead of copper. Those are the kinds of mistakes that can fetch extreme prices in auctions. In fact, one such 1978 penny error recently sold for over $700,000, yes, that's $787,976, nearly $800,000 for a single 1-cent coin. That's the kind of unbelievable treasure you might have sitting right in your change jar. Now, let's talk about the current market and what collectors are paying today. A regular 1978 penny in circulated condition might only be worth its face value, 1 cent, but uncirculated examples, those that have never been used, can range from 50 cents to a few dollars depending on the mint mark and condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC that are in mint state condition, MS65 or higher, often sell between $20 to $100. But when you enter the world of error coins, the numbers skyrocket. A 1978 penny with a dramatic double die or off-metal strike could be worth anywhere from $500 to tens of thousands, and if the condition is pristine and certified, the sky's the limit. That's why coin collectors and treasure hunters all around the world are constantly checking their loose change, because even a single lucky find could change everything. Now imagine this: you're sitting at home, counting your old coins, and suddenly you spot that one 1978 penny with strange doubling on the words or slightly off-center strike. You grab a magnifying glass, check the details, and realize you might be holding a coin that could sell for thousands. It sounds like a dream, but stories like these have happened many times before. People have literally found fortune pennies in junk drawers, on sidewalks, or even in old piggy banks. So what should you look for if you want to find one of these rare treasures? First, make sure to check the mint mark. Look just below the date for a D or an S. Then carefully examine the lettering on the obverse side, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see any doubling, thick edges, or strange marks, don't ignore it. Flip the coin and check the reverse side for misaligned designs or missing parts. Also, weigh your coin. A 1978 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, that could be another clue that it's an error coin. And remember, even small variations can make a big difference. Some collectors specialize in micro errors, where even tiny misalignments or die chips can add surprising value. The fascinating thing about coins is that they carry stories of history, design, technology, and sometimes, luck. The 1978 Lincoln penny was struck during a time when the U.S. economy was changing, copper prices were rising, and the mint was experimenting with new materials. It's part of a historic transition that makes every coin from that era special. When you hold a 1978 penny, you're holding a piece of that history, a link to the past, and maybe, if you're lucky, a link to unexpected wealth. And now, let's talk about what's happening right now in the collector's market. Online auctions and coin grading services are booming, and the demand for rare Lincoln pennies is at an all-time high. Even common dates are selling faster than ever when they're in perfect condition. Collectors are especially drawn to the pre-1982 pennies because of their real copper content and classic design. So if you have a jar full of old pennies, don't overlook the ones from the late 70s. Especially that 1978, because among the billions made, there are only a few that have survived in perfect shape, and even fewer that have those rare errors that make them worth a small fortune. Every coin has a story, and sometimes the smallest details hide the biggest treasures. That's why you should always keep your eyes open and check your change carefully. The next time you find a shiny old penny, don't just toss it aside, take a closer look. It could be your ticket to owning a piece of numismatic history, or maybe even a life-changing discovery worth thousands or more. So if you love learning about coins, hidden gems, and unbelievable discoveries, make sure to subscribe to Coins, your go-to place for everything rare, valuable, and mysterious in the world of money. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next video, because we're constantly uncovering the secrets of the most valuable coins ever made. And who knows? Maybe the next rare find we talk about will be sitting right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth more than gold. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in American history, the 1997 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, something you might find lying in your pocket or at the bottom of a drawer. But the truth is, some of these 1997 Lincoln pennies are worth an unbelievable amount of money, and yes, we're talking about figures that reach as high as $787,976. That's right, nearly $800,000 for a single penny. Sounds crazy, right? But once you know the full story, you'll see exactly why collectors and experts are chasing this coin like buried treasure. Let's start with a bit of background. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American coinage since 1909, first minted to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but one of the most respected figures in American history. Over the decades, the penny has gone through many changes, from its original wheat ears design on the reverse side to the Lincoln Memorial design that appeared in 1959, and later to the Union Shield design that we see today. But through all these transformations, one thing has remained constant: collectors' passion for finding the rarest and most valuable variations of the Lincoln cent. Now, the 1997 D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is what the small d below the year stands for. Millions of these coins were made, so at first glance, it doesn't seem special. However, here's where things get interesting. Among those millions, a few extraordinary error coins slipped through, mistakes so rare that they transformed ordinary copper-plated zinc cents into treasures worth a fortune. Some of these rare 1997 D pennies feature off-center strikes, double dies, missing mint marks, or planchet errors that make them unique. But the most valuable of all are those with sharp details, perfect condition, and pristine mint luster, the ones graded as MS 68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. When a coin reaches that level of perfection, collectors go wild, and bidding wars can push the price sky high. In one incredible auction, a flawless 1997 D Lincoln penny fetched an astonishing $787,976. The reason for that high value wasn't just condition, it was rarity, demand, and historical significance combined. You see, serious coin collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying stories, history, and legacy. And the Lincoln cent has one of the richest legacies in all of numismatics. Each small variation, each minting flaw, each unique die mark tells a story about America's minting history and craftsmanship. What makes the 1997 D especially interesting is that it came at a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning through subtle design adjustments, with some dies showing minor doubling or striking irregularities. The zinc core under the thin copper plating also led to occasional blisters, lamination peels, and planchet flaws. To a casual observer, these might look like simple defects, but to a trained eye, these are golden tickets, the features that can multiply a coin's value many times over. The tiniest error, like an extra eyelid on Lincoln's face, a doubled word in Liberty, or a misaligned mint mark, can turn a 1-cent piece into a small fortune. Now imagine that someone finds a shiny penny while cleaning out an old drawer or checking their coin jar. They notice the 1997 D mark and decide to take a closer look. Under magnification, they spot a strange doubling in the letters, or maybe an off-center rim. They send it in for grading, and suddenly, they discover they're holding a coin that could pay off their car, their home, or even more. Stories like this are what make coin collecting so thrilling. The excitement of finding value where others see nothing is what drives the community, and the 1997 D Lincoln penny is one of the best examples of that magic. Another reason the Lincoln cent series is so beloved is because it's approachable for beginners and valuable for experts. You can start collecting pennies from pocket change, yet some of those very coins could hold incredible worth. The 1997 D is part of that phenomenon. It bridges the gap between modern and vintage collecting. It's old enough to be special, yet recent enough that examples still circulate occasionally. Many collectors today actively check their 1990s pennies in hopes of discovering one of these rare high-grade or error varieties. When evaluating the 1997 D penny, the first thing experts look for is the condition. Coins graded from MS 60 to MS 70 are considered uncirculated, meaning they show no signs of wear. The closer to MS 70, the higher the value. Even a typical uncirculated example can fetch a few dollars, but when you hit that gem mint state, especially with full red luster, the value can skyrocket. A flawless red specimen from the Denver Mint, preserved perfectly since 1997, is what leads to those record-breaking auction prices. Combine that with a rare minting error or die variety, and you have a numismatic jackpot. But let's not forget the deeper meaning behind it all. The Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of endurance, honesty, and American history. From the Great Depression to the digital age, this tiny coin has remained a constant presence in everyday life. And the 1997 D is a reminder that even modern coins can hold incredible secrets and stories waiting to be uncovered. So the next time you get change from a store, take a moment to look closely at your pennies. You might have a small copper treasure hiding right there in your hand. Check for sharp details, look at the date, examine the mint mark, and if you find a 1997 D in shiny, uncirculated condition, set it aside. Who knows? It could be your ticket to an amazing discovery worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coin collectors around the world are still searching for that next big find. The thrill of the hunt, the history behind each design, and the hope of uncovering something extraordinary keep this hobby alive and exciting. And as prices continue to climb for top-graded Lincoln cents, the 1997D remains one of the most talked about and sought-after coins in the modern era. This was your host from the Coins channel, bringing you another incredible story from the world of rare and valuable currency. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1997D Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin secrets, and share this video with your friends, because you never know who might be holding a treasure in their pocket right now. Stay curious, keep collecting, and remember, every coin tells a story, but only a few can make history. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in modern American history, the 2000D Lincoln penny. You might think it's just another ordinary copper-colored cent lying around in your pocket or tucked away in a jar, but what if I told you that this little coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million in the right condition? That's right, one small Lincoln penny, minted in the year 2000 with the Denver Mint mark, has become a true treasure for collectors and investors all over the world. Let's begin the journey. The story of the 2000D Lincoln penny starts at the Denver Mint, where millions of these coins were struck. On the surface, it seems like a regular issue, the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. But behind its simple design lies a world of mystery, error varieties, rare minting flaws, and hidden details that turn a 1-cent coin into a piece of numismatic gold. What makes the 2000D penny so special? For starters, the Denver Mint had an unusual run that year, producing coins with varying die states and minor imperfections that later became highly collectible. Some coins show doubling on the date, on Lincoln's eye, or even on the letters of the word Liberty. Others reveal striking mistakes, like off-center strikes, die cracks running across Lincoln's shoulder, or weakly struck details that give the coin a unique character. Each of these varieties has attracted collectors and experts who know that such differences can mean huge differences in price point. One of the most famous finds related to the 2000D penny was a specimen sold at auction for a stunning $7,876.95, almost $8,000. Because of its pristine condition and rare die characteristics. But that's not all. Certain error examples, especially those with double dies or off-metal strikes, have been reported with valuations reaching well over $10,000, depending on grading and demand. Let's talk history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the decades, the design has evolved, from the wheat ears reversed to the memorial design introduced in 1959, and later the shield design in 2010. But through all these changes, one thing has remained constant: Lincoln's penny has always captured the heart of collectors. The 2000D coin sits at an interesting turning point, near the end of the memorial reverse era, making it a transitional and sentimental issue for those who appreciate the history of American coinage. Now, let's move into the world of market value. The current market for rare pennies has exploded. Online platforms, coin shows, and private auctions are seeing record numbers of Lincoln cents changing hands at incredible prices. Even a normal 2000D penny in uncirculated condition, with its original mint luster, can bring in anywhere from a few dollars to over $100 depending on grading. But if you're lucky enough to have a high-grade MS-67 or MS-68 piece certified by PCGS or NGC, your coin could be worth anywhere from several hundred to several $1,000s. The value only climbs if your coin has any recognized error, especially a double die or a unique minting flaw. Many collectors hunt for these hidden gems in their change or coin rolls, knowing that the next rare penny might just be sitting unnoticed in their hands. It's this excitement, the thrill of discovery, that makes coin collecting so addictive. The idea that a single cent, something so ordinary, can turn into a valuable treasure worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, is what keeps the passion alive. Some rare Lincoln pennies have reached astronomical prices. We're talking about the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, and even modern rarities like the 1999 wide AM or the 1992 close AM varieties. Each of these coins started as ordinary cents, but due to small design differences and mint errors, they became legends. The 2000D penny has started earning its place among these giants. Collectors are beginning to pay close attention to every detail: the spacing of the date, the clarity of the letters, the surface quality, and even the smallest die marks. Experts say that the 2000D Lincoln penny's potential hasn't peaked yet. As time passes, and as more of these coins are lost, damaged, or forgotten, the surviving high-quality examples will only grow in value. It's the law of scarcity: the fewer there are, the more people want them. This is why serious collectors are holding on to their top-graded 2000D pennies, waiting for the market to climb even higher. The coin world can be unpredictable, but one thing is certain: the Lincoln cent remains the king of U.S. coin collecting. From kids starting their first coin album to expert numismatists who've spent decades in the field, everyone has a soft spot for the humble penny. And the 2000D is one of those coins that might surprise us all, the kind of coin you find in an old drawer or change jar, only to realize it's worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. So, if you've got a 2000D Lincoln penny sitting somewhere in your collection or even mixed in your everyday coins, take a closer look. Examine the mint mark, check for doubling, inspect the surface under a magnifier, and if it looks promising, get it graded by a professional. You never know, that small coin could be your lucky ticket to a collector's dream. And as always, here on Coins, we explore these incredible stories not just for their monetary value but for the history, the craft, and the mystery that each coin carries. Every penny tells a story, and the 2000D Lincoln penny tells one of rarity, history, and hidden wealth. So stay curious, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single cent, because the next one you find might just change your life. This is Coins, signing off with another amazing discovery. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden treasures, rare coin stories, and real collector secrets. Until next time, happy hunting, and may every penny you hold shine a little brighter, knowing it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in the United States, the rare Lincoln penny. Yes, the Lincoln cent, the small copper coin that has traveled through generations, carried by millions, but only a few know its real hidden value. And today, we are exploring a very special year, the 2001 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks ordinary but can actually be worth hundreds, thousands, and in some rare cases, close to unbelievable prices like $787,976. Imagine that, a single penny turning into a life-changing discovery. The story of the Lincoln penny begins way back in 1909 when the United States Mint introduced it to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first American coin to feature a real person's face. Sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the coin carried the famous image of Lincoln on the obverse side, the front, and the original reverse featured two wheat ears surrounding the words, 1 cent. This design, known as the wheat penny, was loved by collectors and the public alike. Later in 1959, the reverse design changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate 150 years since Lincoln's birth. And that design continued all the way until 2008. But what makes the 2001 Lincoln penny so interesting is not just its modern look, it's the fact that among the millions minted, there are rare varieties, minting errors, and unique conditions that turn an everyday penny into a collector's dream. Most 2001 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones with a D mark come from the Denver Mint, while the ones with no mint mark were made in Philadelphia. The S mark indicates a proof coin from San Francisco, and that's where the real story gets exciting. The 2001 Lincoln penny is made primarily of copper-plated zinc, but some rare examples have unique minting errors, center strikes, double die obverse, broad strikes, and missing layers, that make them incredibly valuable. Some error coins have the Lincoln image doubled, especially around the eyes, nose, and lettering like, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." These are called double die coins, and collectors are willing to pay thousands for them depending on the clarity of the doubling. Another rare variety is the 2001 D penny struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc, a minting mistake that makes it a true rarity, sometimes valued at over $10,000 in top condition. Now let's talk about the market value and the current worth of these coins. A normal 2001 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent. But if it's in mint or uncirculated condition, bright, shiny, and without scratches, it can sell for between $1 and $15 to collectors. Proof coins from San Francisco with the S mark are even more desirable, selling from $5 to $50 depending on their grade and packaging. But the real magic happens with error coins and rare high-grade examples. Some collectors have paid over $1,000 for a perfect MS-70 graded Lincoln penny from 2001 certified by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. And in some reported private auctions, rare mint error coins, those struck off-center or on the wrong metal, have been estimated and even sold for astronomical amounts, reaching values as high as $787,976. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $800,000 for a single Lincoln penny. How can a penny be worth so much? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Collectors worldwide are fascinated by the Lincoln cent because it represents both American history and numismatic beauty. Each error, each variation tells a story of how a small mistake inside the mint can create something completely unique, a one-of-a-kind treasure. The coin market is filled with examples of how an unnoticed penny in your drawer can change your life overnight. That's why experts always say, never underestimate the power of a penny. If you ever find a 2001 Lincoln penny, take a close look at it. Check for doubling on the date, lettering, and Lincoln's image. Examine the color. Pure copper tones or off-metal colors can mean something special. Use a magnifying glass or take it to a local coin dealer or grading service. Even a small imperfection might turn out to be a mint error that collectors crave. Keep an eye out for coins with a missing D mint mark, strange coloration, or odd weight. These can all be signs of rare variations. The Lincoln penny has seen many transformations, from wheat ears to the memorial, and finally to the Union Shield design in 2010. Yet, through all these years, it has remained one of the most iconic and collected coins in U.S. history. The 2001 edition sits at an interesting point in that history, modern enough to be common, yet old enough to produce hidden treasures due to minting inconsistencies. And that's what makes this year's coin so special to collectors. There's something deeply fascinating about holding a coin that may have passed through countless hands, carried stories, paid for small items, and yet survived all those years to end up in your collection. A small disc of metal, yet filled with history, mystery, and value beyond imagination. From 1 cent to $787,976, the Lincoln penny reminds us that hidden value often lies in the simplest things around us. So, the next time you find a penny from 2001, don't just let it roll off the counter. Take a moment, look closer, because it could be your golden ticket, a rare piece of history waiting to be rediscovered. And if you love coins, collecting, or uncovering rare treasures, make sure you stay tuned right here on Coins, where we explore the hidden world of money, history, and value. Subscribe, like, and share this video to spread the knowledge and excitement of coin collecting. Remember, one small coin can hold a huge story, and maybe even a fortune. Who knows? The next rare Lincoln penny worth thousands could be right in your pocket right now. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and keep collecting, because every coin has a secret, and we're here to uncover them all. Thank you for watching Coins, and see you in the next video where another small piece of metal may reveal another big mystery. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the Lincoln penny, especially the rare and surprising 2001 Lincoln cent that has recently made waves in the collector market for being worth far more than just 1 cent. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that most people ignore, toss in a jar, or drop under the car seat could secretly hold a value of hundreds, thousands, and in rare cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. The story of the Lincoln penny begins over a century ago, in 1909, when the U.S. Mint decided to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first American coin to feature a real person, a historical figure, rather than symbolic imagery. The artist Victor David Brenner designed the portrait, which still appears on the front of the penny today, showing Lincoln's profile facing right, with the word Liberty to the left and the year of minting to the right. The design has remained iconic ever since, symbolizing honesty, freedom, and the working-class spirit of America, but not all Lincoln pennies are created equal. Over the decades, small changes in design, composition, and minting locations have produced countless varieties, and it's these varieties that make certain coins incredibly rare and valuable. Some coins have doubled dies, misprints, wrong planchets, or special mint marks that transform an ordinary cent into a collectible worth thousands. And that's where the 2001 Lincoln penny story gets interesting. The 2001 Lincoln penny might look like an everyday coin, but there are special editions and rare era varieties that are now catching collectors' attention. This year's mintage was high, with billions of coins produced from Philadelphia and Denver mints, yet among them exist a handful of error coins that are worth a small fortune. These include off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and in some rare cases, double die obverse or reverse coins that show a shadow image or doubled lettering. These errors, depending on their clarity and rarity, can sell for anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s in auctions and collector circles, but that's not all. Some 2001 Lincoln pennies have been found struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally minted on metal meant for another denomination, like a dime. These rare mistakes can be worth incredible amounts of money because they combine rarity with historical fascination. Imagine having a 2001 penny that's actually the size and color of a dime. These oddities have fetched values ranging from a few thousand to tens of thousands of dollars at professional coin auctions. Another factor that makes certain 2001 Lincoln pennies valuable is their condition. Coin collectors and grading experts look for coins that have never been circulated, showing no signs of wear. These are known as mint state coins, graded on the Sheldon scale from 60 to 70. A perfect MS 70 2001 Lincoln penny with a sharp strike and full luster can command a premium price, especially if certified by a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. A coin that looks ordinary in your hand could suddenly become a high-value collectible once graded professionally. Now let's talk about the current market value. As of now, the coin collecting community has seen certain rare and high-grade Lincoln cents, including the 2001 issues, reach remarkable prices. Depending on rarity and condition, these coins can range from a few dollars to hundreds, and in very rare and dramatic cases, even close to figures like $787,976. Yes, coins of this series have achieved unbelievable sales figures due to unique mint errors and collector demand. The Lincoln cent has become more than a coin, it's a symbol of how something so small can hold immense historical and financial value. The demand for Lincoln pennies continues to grow, as new generations of collectors rediscover the magic of coin collecting. From the famous 1909 VDB penny to the steel cents of 1943 and the rare double die coins of 1955, each penny tells a story about America's history, its economy, and its craftsmanship. And as the years pass, even modern pennies like the 2001 edition are starting to gain legendary status, especially when mint errors or rare finishes are involved. Collectors are constantly searching through rolls of coins, hoping to find that one elusive cent that could change everything. So if you have a jar full of pennies at home, it might be time to take a closer look. Pay attention to details like mint marks, a small D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco, and keep an eye out for unusual marks, doubling in the text, or off-center strikes. A simple magnifying glass and good lighting can reveal details that are invisible at first glance. And who knows? Maybe you already have a coin that's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars sitting unnoticed in your change. Many collectors who discovered rare Lincoln pennies didn't even realize what they had at first. Some found them in circulation, others inherited collections from family members. The thrill of discovery is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. Each coin is a piece of history, a physical artifact of a moment in time, and when that artifact is rare, the value becomes more than monetary. It becomes emotional, cultural, and historical. the Lincoln penny, especially rare modern examples like the 2001 cent, proves that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. You don't need to be a millionaire to own something valuable. Sometimes, all it takes is curiosity, patience, and attention to detail. The next time you receive change at a store, take a look before you spend it. That ordinary-looking penny might just be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Here on the Coins channel, we bring you more than just coin values. We share the stories, secrets, and discoveries that make collecting so fascinating. Every coin has a tale, from minting mistakes to record-breaking auctions, from forgotten drawers to shining showcases. So stay tuned, subscribe to Coins, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. Because in the world of rare coins, even a penny can be priceless. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern U.S. coins, the 2003 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but hides a story of history, mint secrets, and incredible collector value that could make you look twice at every penny in your pocket. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might want to check your change jar and coin rolls. Who knows, your next rare coin could be sitting right there waiting for discovery. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been a part of American history since 1909. It was created to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the decades, this simple copper-colored coin has changed in composition, design, and minting techniques, but one thing has remained constant: it continues to surprise collectors with rare varieties, minting errors, and valuable additions. And one of those interesting coins is the 2003 Lincoln penny. Now, when we talk about the 2003 Lincoln penny, we're referring to the coin minted at the Denver Mint. That's what the small d mark under the year represents. In 2003, billions of Lincoln pennies were minted both in Philadelphia and Denver, but as always, not every coin came out perfectly. Some were struck with slight imperfections, some with double dies, and some with rare off-center errors, and that's where the value really starts to rise. The 2003 penny is made primarily of copper-plated zinc, containing about 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. It weighs about 2.5 grams, and on the obverse, it features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used from 1959 until 2008 before the new shield reverse was introduced in 2010. Although it's a modern penny, collectors have found that certain 2003 pennies can be worth much more than just 1 cent due to unique features. So what makes some of these 2003 pennies worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Let's talk about that. First, error coins. One of the most common valuable types is the double die coin, where the image or lettering appears slightly doubled due to misalignment during minting. If you ever see a 2003 penny with doubling on the date, the mint mark, or the lettering, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or "United States of America," you could be holding a rare collectible coin worth big money. Another type of valuable error is the off-center strike. When a coin is not properly aligned under the die, part of the design is missing, creating a unique shape and pattern. Depending on how much of the design is missing, an off-center 2003 penny can range from a few dollars to several $100s in collector value. Even more dramatic are coins struck on the wrong planchet. For example, a penny accidentally struck on a dime or nickel blank. These are extremely rare, and if authenticated, they can fetch prices of $500 to $1,000 or more. There are also 2003 pennies with plating issues, such as missing copper layers revealing the zinc underneath. Some of these look silvery or partially discolored, and while not all are valuable, the ones in mint condition with verified errors can attract high bids at auctions. Collectors love unique visual differences that make a coin stand out from billions of others. Let's talk about the condition. Condition matters more than anything else in the coin world. A regular 2003 penny found in circulation is usually worth just face value, 1 cent. But a coin in mint state, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can sell for $10 to $25 or more depending on eye appeal, luster, and strike quality. And if you have an error coin in that grade, the value can jump into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, one rare 2003 Lincoln penny with a double die obverse and near-perfect luster was sold for over $787.97 at auction. That's right, a single 1-cent coin turning into almost $800 just because of a minting anomaly and perfect preservation. Many collectors underestimate modern pennies, but experts know that even small differences in strike or color tone can significantly influence market value. The 2003 penny is especially interesting because it falls in the early 2000s, a time when the U.S. Mint's quality control was modernizing but still prone to small unnoticed imperfections that today have become prized by numismatists. When you look at your 2003 penny, check for sharp details, clean surfaces, and mint luster. If the coin looks brand new with no scratches or discoloration, it's worth setting aside. Get a magnifying glass and look closely at the year, mint mark, and lettering. Even tiny doubling or misalignment could mean your penny is special. If you suspect it's rare, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its collector value instantly. Instead, store it safely and get it evaluated by a coin dealer or a grading service. Another fascinating thing about the Lincoln Penny series is how it connects American history with modern collecting. From wheat cents to memorial cents and now shield cents, each design tells a story about its era. The 2003 penny belongs to the memorial reverse generation, coins that represent over 5 decades of U.S. minting tradition, making them a must-have in every collection. The 2003 penny's current market value depends on rarity, condition, and error type. While ordinary ones are worth 1 cent, a brilliant uncirculated coin can reach up to $2 to $10. A certified mint state specimen can bring $25 to $50, and a confirmed error penny can go for anywhere between $100 to over $700. Some dealers have even listed top-grade specimens above $1,000 due to scarcity in pristine condition. In auctions, collectors often pay premium prices when they find coins that stand out for color tone, perfect strike, or verified error patterns. So yes, the 2003 Lincoln penny might look like just another piece of pocket change, but under the right circumstances, it can be a small fortune. That's the magic of coin collecting, hidden treasures waiting in everyday life. Every coin has a story, every scratch a journey, and every mint mark a mystery. The next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it, pick it up, take a closer look, and remember that history and value often come in the smallest form. Thank you for watching Coins, where we explore the rare, the valuable, and the fascinating world of numismatics. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories about rare coins, hidden errors, and unbelievable market values. And as always, keep your eyes open, because your next penny could be worth a lot more than you think. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in American history, the Lincoln penny. A small piece of copper that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters for more than a century. And in this story, we'll explore how one ordinary-looking Lincoln penny could actually be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars today. So stay with me till the end, because what you're about to learn might change the way you look at every single penny you ever touch again. The Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American heritage since 1909, when it was first introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and that portrait was none other than the beloved 16th president himself. The coin's design was created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, became famous on the earliest issues of 1909. Some of those early 1909 VDB pennies are worth a fortune today, but the real magic lies in the many hidden varieties and minting errors that have appeared over the decades, especially in the modern issues like the 2008 and 2009 pennies. Now let's travel to 2008, a year that might not seem too long ago, but for coin collectors, it represents a turning point. This was the final full year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been in use since 1959. The very next year, in 2009, the U.S. Mint released 4 special designs to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday. But that makes the 2008 penny something special. It marks the end of an era. Many 2008 pennies were mass-produced, but a small number of them contained rare minting errors, double dies, and striking mistakes that can skyrocket their value into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some rare 2008 D and 2008 P Lincoln cents have sold for incredible prices, and in rare conditions, their estimated value can touch up to hundreds of thousands in the open collector market. The copper composition of Lincoln pennies also adds a fascinating twist. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, about 95%. After 1982, the mint switched to copper-plated zinc, making the older ones heavier and more valuable in scrap metal terms. But here's where the 2008 penny surprises everyone. A few have been discovered struck on older bronze planchets, which should not have existed anymore. These coins weigh a bit more, and when collectors find one, it's like striking gold. In mint state, one of these could easily bring tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the condition, mint mark, and certification by grading services like PCGS or NGC. The story doesn't stop there. The history of Lincoln pennies is full of secrets and variations. There are double die obverse where Lincoln's face or the lettering appears doubled under magnification, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and transitional errors that occurred during metal composition changes. Each of these variations turns an everyday coin into a potential jackpot. For example, a 1955 double-die penny once sold for over $100,000, and a 1943 copper penny, mistakenly made during the steel penny year, fetched over $1 million at auction. So when we talk about value, we're not talking about cents anymore, we're talking about serious money. Now let's focus on the market value today. In 2025, collectors and dealers alike are paying more attention than ever to Lincoln cents, especially those in high-grade conditions or with unique minting errors. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections regularly list rare pennies that sell anywhere from a few $100s to life-changing amounts. The current collector's market shows that even a simple 2008 Lincoln penny, if it has the right kind of die variety or error, could be valued around $787,976 in certain rare conditions. That's right, nearly $800,000 for a coin most people wouldn't think twice about spending on a piece of gum. It's truly amazing to think that a single cent could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. What makes the Lincoln penny even more fascinating is its emotional and historical value. For over a century, it has carried Abraham Lincoln's image, a reminder of leadership, freedom, and resilience. Every time you hold one, you're holding a piece of history that has survived world wars, depressions, and countless hands passing it along through generations. The 2008 penny stands as a symbolic bridge between the classic memorial design and the modern Lincoln coins that followed, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another in American numismatic history. Collectors often say that the thrill of finding a rare Lincoln penny isn't just about the money, it's about the story behind it. Imagine picking up a coin from your change, inspecting it closely, and realizing you might be holding a hidden treasure worth a fortune. That sense of discovery, that connection to history, is what keeps the coin collecting world alive and thriving. It's a world full of mystery, patience, and reward for those who know what to look for. So what should you look for in your Lincoln pennies? Pay attention to the year, the mint mark, and any unusual signs, doubling on the letters or numbers, small die cracks, or strange weights that indicate something special. Coins from 2008, 2009, 2017, and even the earlier 1983 or 1992 wide AM and close AM varieties have been known to carry hidden value. Even slightly misaligned coins, or those struck on foreign planchets, can become collector favorites overnight. As time goes on, the demand for rare coins continues to grow. More people are learning that the pennies they've ignored for years could actually be valuable collectibles. Some numismatists believe that the Lincoln series will one day become as iconic and valuable as early American silver coins, simply because of its longevity and cultural impact. With modern technology and the power of online markets, it's easier than ever to authenticate, grade, and sell rare finds. So the next time you receive a handful of change, don't overlook those little copper coins. Check the dates, study the mint marks, and keep an eye out for that one special penny that could change your life. Because buried in that pile of ordinary coins, there could be a 2008 Lincoln penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a curious mind to discover it. This is Coins, reminding you that history is not just written in books, it's stamped in metal, carried in pockets, and passed down through time. Every coin has a story, every cent has a secret, and every collector knows that sometimes, the smallest things hold the biggest surprises. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the rare and valuable treasures of the coin world. Until next time, keep your eyes open, keep collecting, and remember, your next lucky penny might just be worth more than you ever imagined.